Hey David, welcome to the 2019 OEC golf event. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play on through. We'll put you back in your dress position and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you back here in your setup, let's first of all take a look at your posture. We can see that your spine is straight on a slight tilt, legs come down into a nicely unlocked position. Arms hang down nice and naturally in front of you. Club works out to the ball. So pretty good posture there, also in association with good balance. At this point in time, want to sort of observe your alignment. We can see your feet heading out in this direction. So theoretically, if we carried that out towards the intended target and understand that your club face theoretically is supposed to run parallel to your feet at address, parallel lines on camera would have an appearance of converging. So I mean, you're basically set up to hit the golf ball way over here in this direction. So you're obviously accustomed when you hit the ball well to see the ball obviously start somewhere left. Then you leave the club face wide open and you're going to be hitting some form of a fade and or slice to get the ball obviously back towards the intended target. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a little split screen comparison here, and we'll go ahead and pull up a model swing of Jordan Spieth on the left side of the screen. We've got some color-coded lines on the screen just to use as a visual reference as it pertains to swing plane. Before we go ahead and take a look at the actual swing, let's first of all just pay attention to what I just talked about. So look at where Jordan's feet are going, again, in accordance to where yours are going. So his feet are obviously running parallel, so they're more closed, aiming more right than you, and his feet are running parallel to his intended target, which is sort of right center of the fairway. Okay? And then his knees line up, his hips line up, his forearms line up, and the shoulders. Everything for you, your knees, your hips, your arms, shoulders, they're all going left. So we are going to swing this golf club from outside to inside. We're going to attack the ball very steep. We're going to swing the club from an out to in path. And at that point in time, we're going to have to leave the face wide open to hit a fade. Because if you squared the face with that, then the ball's going to go where you're aimed, and that's going to be big trouble. Okay? So at this point in time, we just want to take a look at the actual swing now. Want to bring the golf club back with good shoulder rotation, draw the arms and hands back as well as the club. Want the club coming back on plane directly along the red line. Through here we want to establish some wrist hinge into play where we're transitioning the club head from below to above the hands. Now working the club from red up towards yellow or blue. When we finally set the club at the top of the backswing, we either want the left arm of the club on the yellow line, somewhere within the yellow-blue vicinity, or even working itself up towards the blue line here. We want full shoulder rotation, and we want to do this about a very stable right leg. So let's watch you take the club back. Again, because you're set up so open, this club's going to go outside of the swing plane, so we can see that right there. Your turn's good, extension's good, and the reality is if I rotated the camera around, let me just point this out because I might talk about this a little bit, but if I rotated the camera around over to here, looked at you from between your feet and the ball, but looking in the direction of where you're aimed, your golf club would be pretty close to being on plane. So relative to where you're aimed, the golf club's on a pretty decent plane. Relative to where we want the ball to go, center of the fairway, it's way outside. Okay, so hopefully you can grasp that, because that could really mean a lot, because if you end up swinging the club well based on where you're aimed, then you wouldn't have to leave the face open. You could release the club, and the only thing you need to do is change your alignment, and you'd become much more consistent, hit the ball straighter. So anyways, you're bringing the club back well, you're turning your shoulders, good arm extension, club's way outside of plane based on the ball going in the center of fairway. As we continue to move back here, you get continued good turn, good wrist hinge into play. Again, I think you're in a pretty good position, geometrically speaking, based on where you're aimed. Based on the center of the fairway, again, you're still outside. Let's go to the top of the backswing. At this point, you start to work yourself very vertically now. So even with looking at the geometry based on where you're aimed, you would be very steep. So at this point in time, your left arm's way above the yellow line. It's also way above the blue line. So we can see with Jordan, he's already in a steep position being on the blue line. Even if we rotated the camera around and had the lines set up based on that, you're still steep. So you would even come attack the ball from outside of that, and you're still going to fade the ball. So even if we did change your alignment and had you swing the club the way you are, right now, unfortunately, you're not setting your arms in a position that we would like them to be in anyways. Okay? So as we start transition back in the ball, simply want to move our weight from our right foot to our left. We want to fire our knees and our hips to the target, unwind the core, and fire our hands. And doing so, we want to bring the golf club from blue back down on top of red, which is where the club originated. And that's exactly what we see here with Jordan Spieth. The golf club is returning back to on plane. Okay? The other thing we want to observe at this stage of the golf swing is the relationship between the lead forearm and the golf club. Refer to this as the backwards check mark. This simply means the club head right now is remaining above and behind his hands, which is going to allow him to create a lot of power in the golf swing, let alone being able to hit the ball straight due to the fact, as we've already noted, that the club has returned back to plane. With you as you come into the ball, we definitely see that you come into the ball from over the top, so your hands push out in front of you, and they're coming down very steep there. And that's going to have a major influence on your club. So at this point in time, we can take a look at your club head, and you know, based on Jordan Spieth, your club should be, you know, a lot closer to the red line if it was coming in from on plane. We know because you're set up open and coming over the top, this club's going to continue to fall further in front. So there it goes further away. Go to the next frame, even further. Okay. Let's see if we can go, okay, so we won't go one more frame. So basically, let's just connect the dots here, and we can see how over the top and therefore how steep you are coming into the ball. Okay, so this is going to influence your swing path. With Jordan Spieth, he's coming in the ball directly from plane, and as I already pointed out, this is what allows us to hit a straight ball in accordance to where we're aimed, lastly assuming that the club face squares up via having a good grip. So there's three things we need to be consistent and to hit a ball straight. We have to aim well. Feet have to run parallel left of our target. The club has to come down on plane in order to hit the ball based on where we're aimed. And then lastly, club face has to square up via having a good grip. So we can see in your case, again, you're aiming way left. Club's coming over the top. You're coming in steep. So we don't have proper alignment. We don't have a proper downswing plane. At this point in time, you're going to be attacking the ball from out to in, and you're going to have to compensate with the club face, leaving it open. So right here, we can see Jordan's club is inside the ball. It expands out to make contact and moves through in a nice, natural, subtle arc. Your club, I'll mark it here, so it passed through here, is coming to the ball, and watch where it's going. It's going straight across. So very simply put, if you square the club face up to this path, you would hit the ball solid, you would hit it in the direction that you're swinging, and also the direction you're aiming. So if you square the face to the red path, you'll hit the ball in that direction, and that's the same direction that you're aiming. So the reality is, if all you did was change your alignment to run parallel to your target, you'd already hit the ball probably 80% straighter. You'll still fade the ball. You're still coming a little from out to in, but if you just improved your alignment and learned how to square the face up, you'd hit the ball a lot better. So in this scenario here, if you over-release the club, not only will the ball go left, it's going to go further left, but obviously the tendency for you is obviously going to be to leave the face open. Hopefully you can block the ball a little to the right of where you're aimed, impart a little left to right spin, and everything turns out. If you leave the club face too open, you'll block the ball even right of that, even though we're swinging along the red path. So think about how open the club face has to be to do that. And then in that scenario, we have way too much left to right spin. We're going to slice the ball. So that's sort of, you know, your golf swing, and that's what's going to happen. Okay, you're aiming way left, coming over the top, swinging from out to in, over-release the club. It's going to go left down red. Leave it too open, it's going to follow blue. And if you time it okay, you'll hit a decent golf shot. I do want to just sort of take a look at impact here. It actually looks like you hit the ball low off the inside heel of the club. Yeah, you did. And so you're driving the ball down into the ground. The ball is heading in the direction that you're swinging. Problem is the ball didn't hit the face of the club, so it's not really going to do anything because you've driven the ball into the ground almost with the sole of the club. So again, if you do hit the face of the club and you square it, it's going left, leave it open, going right, time it, you'll hit some form of a fade and slice, it'll find its intended target. As you come through a pretty good finishing position there. I mean, overall there's some athletic qualities with respect to your golf swing. I mean, your hands work really well. They come back, they fire through. You got pretty decent turn, you coil back, you uncoil through. You've got good footwork allowing you to get to a good finish. But, I mean, if you're going to learn hit the ball straighter and not have to compensate, I mean, we have to aim well. Then we have to learn to bring the club down on a little bit better plane, and you could do that by setting the club in a better position at the top right away, and then learn how to release the club. So my opinion right here is, you know, if we fix your aim and just release the club, you're already 80% better, okay? Obviously, you still need to fine-tune the top of your backswing. Well, guess what? Now you're 10% better coming into the ball because you're going to be more on plane because you're setting it in a shallower position. At that point in time, then we just fine-tune it another 10%. But the reality is you improve something by 90%. Look how much more consistent you're going to be, okay? Anyways, if at any point in time you ever want to work on these aspects of your golf game, I'm over at Glen Abbey in Oakville. Be happy to help you out. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments and you're looking for a unique gift to give to your guests, feel free to touch base and we can discuss my swing analysis services for you. Okay? Anyways, hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video, and hope you enjoy the rest of the fall here.